to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
Throwing is Allen on third. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of takeover right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Now Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
95.
They run it with Carson, and he's across midfield and into Miami territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Come on, let's go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And he hits the tight end. It's Deion Sims. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They go play action now. Wilson. Throw left side complete. It's Carlson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now it's Carson. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Come on, let's go.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Under 4 to play now. Clock running. Third down.
95, 95. 95, 95.
And they'll run it here. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumble, now great field position. On first down, Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. It's the fullback, his second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And when the smaller guy can't power it across the goal line, Charles, sometimes you need to go with a fullback. They did. It worked.
What's that thing about force and mass? How's that?
Oh, yeah. Force equals mass times acceleration.
Oh, that's big-time stuff. That's from the same guy the apple dropped on his head, right?
Bailey now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back.
4 down, 4 down. Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. No chance.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
And the big guy catches the ball in the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On second down, here's Allen. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. The Dolphins on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. The Dolphins on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Returnable for Lockett. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Sims. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Play action. Now Wilson. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Wilson. That is caught. It's Perriman. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal. Second and goal from inside the 5. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. And a little floater there is incomplete. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
19.
Wilson now looking to throw on 2nd down. That's caught out left by Perriman. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Throwing is Wilson. He's got Lockett. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. And they get 14 yards there and a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Wilson now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10.
95, 95.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Sims. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Tempo, tempo.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Come on, in and out, come on, tempo. Hey, over here.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
I'm going to hit you all day, baby.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Wilson to throw. He's got this one complete to Perriman. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Move the team.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This a 33-yard attempt. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will make the lead now 26. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea. In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Allen now on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Allen. This is intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
And they'll run it here. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On 2nd down, Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Wilson. Flush to his right. And shedding through the... And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Charles Harris in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Baldwin with it over the middle. And they'll get him down here at the 23. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. The Dolphins on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Now it's Lockett. Back now in Miami. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 46.
Bang out. We got 4. 95.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Flushed out right. And that's going to be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And the Seahawks on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 11.
95.
And they'll go on the ground. And no room that time. Getting it to about the 46. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is taken around the 12. Oh, and now he bowls him over. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Here we go.
On 1st down, Allen. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Tight is right. What's tight? Tight is right.
Perry. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up. A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now.
Hey, we got 3 down.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Here's Allen to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And taken right at the 35. Look at the spin.
Balance.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. The Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now Wilson. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Wilson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Hey, boys, we got 4 down.
Still got 4 down.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Here we go, D. Hey, just
Now they'll run it on the toss. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says try something different, try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. On the right side open is Gesicki. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now Allen off the bootleg. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Time for a break. Here's Brett Kern now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Taken in at the 22. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
4 down. Check.
Set. Move 15.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And they take a knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
4 down. Alert.
And they'll indeed take a knee. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Seahawks, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for Miami, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco.